You cannot be out here being mean to yourself and trying to build yourself up at the same time simultaneously. It is not going to work. Speaking from experience, it does seem like it's difficult. It does seem challenging, and it may feel overwhelming and frustrating in the moment when you're going through these difficulties. But being hard to yourself when life is already hard during those times is not going to change your situation. So welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, High Guidance, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. It is really imperative to be nice to yourself, and for some people, you may struggle with this because you may not have been exposed to this. You have to realize that we're taught everything in life, and it starts with our childhood. It starts with our communities. It starts with law familiar. It starts with the people that you're familiar with. So if you grew up in an environment where it was dysfunctional, it was corrupted, it was chaotic, there wasn't any love, like through actions, through words, through reassurance, you weren't vulnerable, like you didn't have confidence, it is second nature for a lot of people to be negative. Like, common sense is not common, but for a majority of people who are not into it themselves and who are not confident, it's more common for them to express negativity and projections and fears and doubts and just hatred, honestly, to themselves and on to others. So it's like when we're going through difficult situations, having that energy plus the situation isn't going to change anything. And that's why a lot of people feel stuck and stagnant. That's why a lot of people suffer with PTSD. That's why a lot of people have anxiety and are also depressed. You guys know your mental health is connected to everything else, which is your wealth. And wealth is not just based off of monetary and materials. So when you're going through these difficult times, the first thing that you have to realize is how you're feeling. You cannot deny your frustration. You cannot deny your anger. It is valid for you to experience these things because as a human being, you have feelings. Some feelings may be negative. Some feelings may be positive. Some feelings may be short term. Some feelings may be more longer than others. You have to identify how you feel because in order for you to change your mindset, in order for you to change your attitude, in order for you to improve these things, you have to realize, what is it? So it's like if you're driving on a road and let's just say you get a flat tire, how does that make you feel? Like, you have to sit in your emotions in that moment, so therefore you're able to identify how it makes you feel. You're able to communicate how it makes you feel. You're able to address it. You're able to express it. You're able to physically do something about it, verbally do something about it, or mentally. Like, you have to be able to sit with your emotions so therefore they can come up, so you're not suppressing them and you're not dwelling in them. Once you identify how you feel, once you're able to release the suppression, once you're able to come up with a solution, you can then move forward and understand how you're going to handle your situations. So therefore, when this situation may occur, we don't want it to, or you experience it later in life, you know how to react and respond to it, and you're not constantly holding on to it. The reason why people are holding on to their feelings and their emotions is because you're not being vulnerable. And that's the second thing. When it comes to you being nice to yourself, you have to grieve. Like, you have to cry. It's okay for you to be frustrated. It's okay for you to be sad. The best way for you to grieve is to express how you feel. Booking a session with me, your favorite mental health specialist, booking a session with a therapist, going to a guidance counselor, seeking some type of help online, on YouTube, on social media, right? Your friends, your families, or even people that you can find and can trust and who are not going to expose your information, use it against you, and are going to keep it confidential. You have to be able to talk about you driving to work and getting a flat tire and how that could probably be an inconvenience for you. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to be upset in the moment, but you don't want your feelings to build up and you don't want to suppress how you feel. So therefore you're like lashing out at people, you're going off on yourself, like your just whole body is irregulated and not balanced. And it's like, if let's just say you didn't handle your situation, you didn't handle your emotions in that moment. If you're going to work, now you have an attitude. Now, when you get to work, everyone's pissing you off. You're more irritable. You cannot allow your emotions to cloud your judgment to the point that, you're not able to come up with solutions or you're not able to calm down. And I'm speaking from experience. I was exposed to certain negativities and negative energy. It was very easy for me to be calm, but when I started to be exposed to negative energies and negative people and just things that were chaotic, I had to sit with myself and realize me going off on these people, me yelling at people, me like raising my voice, just going back and forth, like it was just overwhelming. It's chaotic, and 99% of the time it doesn't lead to a good solution. It leads to something bad. And that's another reason why you have to learn how to handle and regulate your emotions by being vulnerable, because like I said, if you're not able to come up with solutions, if you're not able to be rational about your decisions, the consequences come afterwards and later in life. And it's like we don't want to continue to learn the same lessons over and over again if we are able to learn in the moment. The third thing is that it's a skill. Learning to be nice to yourself is a skill. So you have to practice. Like I said, when you're being inconvenienced with a flat tire, when you lose your job, speaking from experience, you have to know like, okay, yes, you do have bills to pay. The world's not going to stop just because you're feeling some type of way. But it's like, what could you possibly do? If you just lost your job and you do have money in your bank account, you have to learn how to be grateful. You have to learn how to be present. You have to learn how to be, like I said, rational about what you could possibly do. Like, yes, this doesn't mean that you don't feel some type of way because financially this is going to impact your lifestyle and your survival. But at the same time, if your finances stop and you do have money saved, you can start to look for new jobs. You can start to seek help. You can start to ask for assistance. Even if you lose your job and you don't have nothing, that is the time where you have to pivot. And that's going to be the next video for the next topic. But learning how to pivot when drastic situations happen to us, speaking from experience, if you're not able to move, if you do not learn how to, like I said, calm down, express how you feel how you feel, you're going to feel stuck and stagnant and you're not going to be able to move. And that's where the paranoia comes from. That's where the doubt comes from. That's when the insecurity starts to creep back up. And that's when you're not able to live out the life that you're meant to experience because you're so focused on all these bad things that you can't even think straight. And it's really important that as you're learning to be vulnerable, as you're learning to be practical, as you're learning to express yourself, as you're learning to, communicate and address how you feel, you are surrounded by good people who are emotionally intelligent, mentally intelligent, just intelligent overall. Like people, like I said, you can trust and confide. Like when you tell your problems to people who have their own problems, a lot of times if they don't deal with them logically or if they don't have your best interests, they're not going to care. They're going to talk about you. They're going to tell people your business. Those are the worst kind of people in this world, speaking from experience. Not just that, if you tell your problems to people who don't even deal with their own problems, how could they help you? So it's really important that before you tell other people, before you seek out other people, you learn to build the confidence within yourself. Like I said, it's a skill. It can take years, months, days. It just depends on how much time, energy you're willing to invest into yourself and you're able to practice. Like I am about to be 28, so 28 years, 27 years, that's a long time to do something, to be a certain type of way if it's not installed in you. Fortunately for me, I have had the privilege to have been installed this since my childhood, but because everyone does not know what I know and everyone doesn't have the same opportunities and privileges and experiences, that's why we talk about these things. Like it is really important that when you're learning to be nice to yourself, you realize what's happening to you, which is the next thing. You have to sit with yourself. If you lose your job, like I said, in the moment, of course, not to invalidate your experience, that can affect you. That's going to make you feel some type of way, psychologically, consciously, emotionally, and most importantly, financially. Like if you're used to making $50,000 a year, $20,000 a year, $2,000 a month, and it's either cut off or you have no access to it, yes, it's going to be drastic. But these drastic situations are to elevate us. And I know you guys don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. Like speaking from experience, you have to be able to see the end. You have to be able to see the outcome. But in order for you to even see the outcome, you have to be where you are. So it's like when things happen to us, we have to realize what's going on. We have to realize what we have control over. We have to express how we feel. So like I said, if you lose your job, in the moment, you need to be frustrated. In the moment, you need to throw your tantrum. In the moment, as long as you're not hurting yourself and others, because that's another reason why it's important to deal with your emotions. You don't want to, like I said, continue your feelings that need to be resolved in that moment. You don't want to continue to take that energy out into people, places, and things, and then, like I said, deal with the consequences or having it backfire on you. Like, you could be mad that you lost your job. Like, when I got fired, I was upset. I was upset for a lot of reasons, right? But afterwards, I had to realize, like, okay, if I don't want to be broke, if I don't want to not, be financially stable and I take care of myself, I have to do something about it. Like, that's just what it is. And that is what causes us to be mature, boys and girls. Like, that is what adulting is. And unfortunately, no one's going to tell you when or how to be an adult because everyone's life is different. So you can't compare yourself to others. That's another reason why you shouldn't be being mean to yourself, because it's like if you get fired and everybody else around you has a job or they have financial income and stability, how's that going to help your situation? Now, of course, this is why I say when you surround yourself with people and you're going through things, you have the right people who can help you, who can assist you, who are able to give you, solutions, advice, or just comfort and support. But other than that, comparing yourself when you got fired and you don't have the same finances as anybody else doesn't change your financial situation. It's not going to change that you were fired. It's not going to change the fact that you still have to get a job, work for somebody, find a side hustle, rest, save your money, invest. Like, it's not going to change anything. So when we're going through these things, we need to be present. Most importantly, we need to identify how we feel. So identify how you feel. Be vulnerable, talk about it, be mad, be angry, be frustrated, and take your time doing this. Like, of course, overall, the goal is to let go, but nobody's telling you how or when to let go. I'm only saying this because, like I said, I'm about to be 28. I'm speaking from experience. I don't let anything stay past than the 24 hours in a day, because the longer, like I said, you sit with something, the challenging, the more difficult it's going to be. And that's why it seems so hard for people to move forward. Like, it's not hard, but because I've been like this my entire life, it's no reason to be so set in stone on certain things when life is not going to last forever. And that's the only reason why you feel like you're not moving forward and you're not elevating. Like, you have to learn how to handle your emotions in that moment. So if you want to be sad that you lost your job, if someone passed away, like whatever, all problems have solutions, even death. The solution to death, trigger warning, is accepting the relationship that you have with that individual and moving forward, because once people are gone, that's it. Same thing with your health. If you get sick, you have to start taking care of yourself, or the sickness will continue and it will lead to death. And that's what the final destination in life is. Trigger warning. Like, that's what you need to start realizing as you grow older and as you mature. You are not guaranteed to live in this life forever. So it's like, you have to take each day for what it is. You have to be able to talk about how you feel. You don't need to be embarrassed or ashamed. Like, people who go through trials and tribulations are not going to make fun of you. The only people who are making fun of you about their trials and tribulations are people who act as if they don't have any problems, or they're just not good people and they don't like themselves. Like, nobody who's ever been broke before is going to make fun of you. Like, if so, you're cruel and you're wicked. And once again, that's not even the type of people you need to be around. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you're commenting down below, turn on your post notifications, and subscribe. If you have questions, comments, concerns about this topic or this video, let me know in the comment section here on YouTube, as well as the community section in the poll. And on my Instagram and TikTok, all my social media platforms will be down in the description box below. When you follow me, I'll be going live on Instagram and TikTok until we reach our goal here on YouTube. Like, what's good? Answering, commenting questions and concerns about this, and if you have any interest, and if you want a service and a session, head to my website at tinycom, because I'm trying to hurry up because I have some things to do. But yeah, beating yourself up while you're struggling is just not healthy. So it's like, you have to continue to be gentle to yourself. You got to continue to heal. You got to continue to be vulnerable.